There are two obvious issues here, and we spoke to the Whakatane Mayor Tony Bonne about them. We're going to discuss whether this is simply too big for a small district council like his to deal with. But first, have Matata residents been let down?
Yeah, John, I will have to agree with you that people have been frustrated. Since 2005, when the debris flow came through, I joined council back in 2007, I think it was, as a new councillor again, and we were discussing the debris flow dam. We wanted to actually mitigate it. So we were under the belief that we could actually fix the problem. And then in 2010, expert engineers came along and said, you need your head read because there's no way you're going to be able to build anything. And if you build something, it's going to cost way more than the whole of the Whakatane district or even the Bay of Plenty could afford.
In the meantime, people have stayed there, people have bought there, people have rebuilt there after 2005. They have done so in good faith because they were told there would be mitigation. They have tolls that an area that GNS, Tonkin and Taylor, council papers have identified as unsafe could be made safe. And now what for those people?
Now what? Our council has struggled with this over a number of years. And I've been one of them. I've actually been on the side saying, well, if people want to stay there with the risk, they should. But when you get told, and we know that if the council doesn't take action and actually mitigate, or mitigate is help in getting people out of there, we will be responsible. And there is history, there will be another debris flow. This time it could take lives. And if it takes lives, I know damn well whose neck will be on the block. It'll be the current mayor of the district.
18 months ago, the council gave resource consent to a couple in Clem Elliott Drive, which is one of the roads identified in the Tonkin Taylor report as being at serious risk in a major flood event, to install a 50k lift in their property. You haven't been on top of this. You knew by then that the mitigation was not going to happen. You had report after report by then saying this area was not safe. And even as recently as 2016, 15-16, you were allowing people to spend money on their properties that you are now requiring them to leave.
No new properties have been built. No new extensions have been built. Yes, I was unaware of somebody putting a lift in, but we have had one resident that wanted to build, and he was determined to build. He came to council. Council sent that off to Wellington to get a determination from the building authority, and it's been turned down that we're not allowed to release any building consents for new buildings in that area because it's too risky. And with all this climate change, John, that's coming in around the country, this is not going to be the first and only one. We're going to have some other areas in New Zealand that are going to be identified as too risky.
Absolutely. This is going to become increasingly common. And in fact, tonight on Checkpoint, we are reporting about another example not far away from you, down the coast in Hawke's Bay. But I want to talk about your district council. And I want to ask you, and I'd like as straight an answer as you are possibly able to give me, do you have enough money to deal with this? And if a similar situation arises in and or around Edgecombe, do you have enough money to deal with this? And is the government doing enough to support you? Can small district councils like you cope with what you have just described as a growing crisis?
John, I will give you a straight answer. I've always given straight answers. No, we do not have enough money to do it ourselves. We have made it quite clear that we need a partnership deal with central government and the regional council. We're saying we are good for a partnership deal. We have talks with central government. We've had some talks with regional council, but some of those other bodies are a little way away, and I think we'll see this develop as the change in the plan comes through.
Where are you at with government? Have you gone to government and said, we need some help?
Yes, we have.
And what response have you had?
Initially, we had, no, we're not interested. And then secondly, that, then our local MP, the Honourable Ann Tolley, has got round the table and has put officials to listen to the idea. There is no promise from anybody, but there is cooperation that we have to do something.
Okay, and where are you at with that process?
It is slowly going forward. And yes, the residents, I feel for you. We're trying to move it forward to get some decision, and the new group that's been formed that want to make sure they want to stay. I can understand some people want to stay.
Would you live there?
Not now. And I would say a couple of years ago, I would have said yes, I would.
Does the government have to be more proactive about dealing with councils who find themselves in the situation you are in?
I think government needs to partner up more with local government because this climate change issue is huge. I've just come out of a meeting to do this interview, and ironically, the subject was climate change.
Tony Bonne, Whakatane District Mayor. So what does the Climate Change Minister say in response to that? Her name is Paula Bennett, and her office told us a short time ago she is unavailable to comment.